Hello, and thanks for joining me on Realty Tips with Angela. I'm your host, Angela Upoma, with Cascade Sotheby's International Realty. Our tip today is for buyers. We're going to be talking about some area home buyer programs and options that can help you get to that home buying dream. And to help us with this topic is Vince Kingston from Guild Mortgage. Vince, we talked a little bit about this before, so I'd like you to let our buyers out there know. We know that things are pretty tough out there, and it's like, what are the options that are out there that the buyers, can use? Thanks again for joining us, Vince. I really appreciate you showing up, and I am just going to give that mic to you now.
Great. Well, thank you, Angela, for having me. I really appreciate the forum to chat with you and the folks out there. And we want to make you aware that there are many area homebuyer programs that are not widely offered. Often I get, prospective first-time homebuyers or non-first-time homebuyers who reach out and they may have already been pre-approved, but they weren't offered any area programs. So this call today is about awareness, making sure people know about it out there. And I'm briefly going to go through many of the programs, just so you know they're out there. It's not going to be an exhaustive list, but just so you know that, there are resources you could reach out to, such as Angela or me, who can point you in the right direction and or help you get pre-approved for these programs. So one of the best programs right now is called the Oregon Bond. This is a statewide first-time homebuyer program, or those who have not owned in 3 years. Okay, so if you've not owned in 3 years, you're a born-again first-time homebuyer in the state of Oregon. And our veterans, the first-time homebuyer requirement is waived. And what this program does, and the reason it's so relevant right now, is it gives you a deeply below market interest rate. So it actually has two options. You choose one or the other. One's called the rate advantage, and it gives you a rate that's at least 1% below market. Depending on the day, it could be up to 1.5% of below market rate versus a normal market rate. So that helps with affordability. And then the other option is called the cash advantage, which still gives you a below market rate, just slightly higher, but it also gives you a cash grant to help with closing costs. And now on an average $500,000 purchase, that can save you $5,000 to $6,000 out of pocket. So that's the Oregon Bond. You'll find that it's a toolkit loan. We often are combining the Oregon Bond with other programs that you could be eligible for out there. So briefly, there's a program called MAP 100% financing that gives you no money down financing, no mortgage insurance, and it's combined with the Oregon Bond. So we have a below market rate or cash grant for closing cost assistance. That's for the Tri-County area, Clackamas, Washington, and Multnomah County. And then there is a program specific to Gresham that could provide up to $40,000 down payment assistance called Gresham Welcome Home. That can also be combined with a MAP and with the Oregon Bond. There's another program in Beaverton, specific to Beaverton. You have to already live or work in Beaverton and then buy the home in Beaverton, but it can provide up to $25,000 down payment assistance. And again, can be combined with the Oregon Bond and the MAP. And then there's other programs that offer 100% financing, regardless if you're a first-time homebuyer or not, because many people, they struggle with the down payment. So for instance, we offer 100% financing and with the FHA variant. And that's important because many down payment assistance programs require higher credit score, whereas FHA down payment assistance can go all the way down to a 600. So it's very lenient. And then I'd also mention that lastly, there is a statewide down payment assistance program that's going to be launched early next year, late January 2023 through Oregon Housing and Community Services. That'll be a very good down payment assistance program. It'll have an interest rate that's at market or below market, which is typically not the case for down payment assistance. So all these programs have different eligibility requirements and income requirements. So what we can help you do is, once we know more about your situation, we'll screen you for all the programs you qualify for and help guide you. And we'd love to be a resource and hope this information was helpful.
Wow, thank you so much, Vince. So there are so many options out there for buyers. Were these programs available in the past?
Most of them were, yes.
Okay.
Some of the funding, the programs are consistently there. The funding can sometimes come and go based on, because what we need to do is we reserve your funds, especially for the Gresham and the Beaverton and MAP programs. We reserve the down payment assistance, and you have 90 days to use them. So even if funds aren't available now, what we are able to do is within a week or two, usually we can reserve funds once someone else's reservation expires and they haven't used it. Does that make sense?
Got it. Got it. Wow. Great. So much that we've talked about already. Thank you again, Vince, for spending your time with us and talking to us
My
about
pleasure.
these. And thanks all of you for spending your time with Vince and I today. If you've got any questions regarding the topic we shared today, if you would like us to touch on one, please go ahead and send your comments to me or send an email, and then I could have Vince back here and we can talk about some of those. If you'd like to discuss your real estate needs, feel free to get a hold of me. My name's Angela and I'm with Cascade Sotheby's International Realty. I am licensed in both Washington and Oregon. So if you're looking to purchase in Oregon, I know Vince talked a lot about some of those programs in Oregon. Do feel free to also get a hold of me because I can help you out there as well. It has been a pleasure hosting this Realty Tips with Angela. Thanks again, Vince. Thanks you all, and we'll see you next time. Have a fabulous day.
Thank you.
Bye now.